We'll kick things off with an opening statement from interim head coach John Hackworth, followed by questions. Coach Hack, you have the floor.
Look, it's been a tough week. There's no doubt about that. Players, staff, the club, when you make a change to the head coach, it's never easy. So in a very short amount of time, I think you saw the resilience of this group, a group that has, been successful in the past. Didn't happen for us so far this year, but really proud of them in this moment to come together in a tough moment and get a result. And that's a really tricky game. Both clubs are in almost the exact same position. Both clubs with interim head coaches and both teams with quality in their first 11. So for us, while it's very satisfying, it's not a game that we're going to go crazy about and celebrate and say we've turned our season around. We haven't. It's just the first step in trying to get us back in the right direction.
Thanks, Coach. We'll go to questions. Charlie? Just kidding. Go.
What did you sense in the players out there tonight?
Tonight, I think, look, this group of men they have great character. They also have great quality as professional athletes. But, they dealt with a loss this week in terms of losing their head coach, and they responded by coming together. And that's what I was proud of them for. You saw that they had to dig deep there. Excellent first half performance. I think, second half we allowed them to have the ball and a little bit too much time and space, but we dug deep. Really happy that we got a shutout in addition to the win. I think those are things we can build on going forward.
And then just that first goal, which kind of surprised everybody, it looked like, but the importance of getting that considering the chances and the situations.
Yeah, we were knocking on the door, right? We had a lot of momentum. I just kept on yelling, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. So, and look, I don't care what goalkeeper you are. If you have to save an ado shot and that thing's knuckling and it's dipping and diving and it bounces off the turf in a weird way, that's a skill, and that's something that probably a little good fortune, but at the same time, it's a skill by Adu to put that on frame and put it with as much pace and dip that he had on it.
Charlie?
Coach Hackworth, what was the thought process in starting Durkin at center back, and how do you think he did this week?
I thought he was fantastic. He hasn't played center back in a little while. He played there for some brief minutes in Vancouver, but when he played for me a while ago at the under 17 level, he was a starting center back in the quarterfinal of the World Cup at the under 17 level in India in 2017. So I had total confidence that he could go in and do the job for us. And clearly, with him and Tim, that partnership worked very well tonight.
Brendan?
Hi, John.
Hey, Brandon.
Just for you personally, easier, more difficult that you're thrust into this role and it's a short week. You really don't have time to breathe. You're right into game week the minute this gets announced.
Yeah, it hasn't been easy. All of us in this club have to deal with this change, and so to do it on a 2-day turnaround effectively, really the credit should go to the guys in that locker room, not me. I have good relationships with those guys, and I think that's really helpful. I've been around them. I've coached them for the last 2 years, several of them. So I think that helps tremendously. It's not like we were trying to play a different style or things like that. We have built a foundation here of success, and Bradley deserves a lot of credit for that. So this has been a tough, short week. And I'm not going to lie, it hasn't been without its ups and downs and stress and pressure, but That's why we all do this too. We love this. We like to be in these situations, and to see a group of men thrive in that moment, again, got to give them a ton of credit.
Justin?
Coach, you mentioned a lot about resiliency earlier. In this match, you get contributions from your last look, I think Ruben and Jose Kajima, guys on the opposite ends of that leadership spectrum. Was it important to you that you got contributions from everyone to that resiliency?
Yeah, look, this wasn't going to happen unless everybody came together. And unless everybody, not the guys that were on the field necessarily, but the guys that were on the bench, everybody said, hey, we know we're a much better team than our results and our performances have showed. And there's no better way to, take a step in the right direction than to play in front of our fans, in this beautiful stadium and have a good performance and have a good result. And that's, again, just the start of it. But, it's not me, but every guy in that locker room, every guy in our team contributed to tonight. And it's impressive that they did, because in moments like this, you can see teams, they kind of make a choice. Do they, continue to kind of divide? Are there little cliques and groups that kind of head off in different directions, or do you come together? And this group certainly, in the league, at least the last 2 days, came together, and tonight put out a good performance, a great performance in the first half, and managed the second half to get a result.
And then being with this team all the way back to that first City 2 season, does it help that you kind of have some inside knowledge on the ins and outs of the group?
Absolutely. Previous to this, Bradley and I worked, very closely the last 2 years. Again, so the message is, whether it was about certain principles or how we were going to prepare, how we were going to press in a certain situation, none of those changed, and that's the foundation. When I got here in 21, it was very clear. This is our philosophy. This is how we're going to play. This is our club. Everybody get on board. This is how we're going to do it. That's definitely helpful.
Matt?
John, you said obviously nothing changed with the style of play, but were there anything tactically in the past couple of days that you were able to impart on the group that might have been different, or that you encouraged them to change compared to what they've been doing?
Not really. I mean, we look at the opponent in San Jose, and we have to come up with a game plan. So, of course, there's decisions on how we're going to press, how we're going to press high up the field. When we drop back, that our shape changed a little bit. So those kind of little nuances, yeah, we wanted to make sure the players understand it, but I tried to keep it very simple. I tried to empower those guys in the locker room to believe in themselves, believe in everything we've done previous to tonight, and go out there and perform, and I think they did that.
And how do you look to keep this performance going? The club has had a penchant this year of scoring buckets of goals and then they go goalless. What are you looking to do over the next few days to ensure that that doesn't happen?
Yeah, well, look, it's another short turnaround, third game in the week. Go play at altitude, go play a really good Colorado team. I mean, it doesn't get very easy. What I would say, though, is that you got to start somewhere. And we took a really good step tonight. Now we got to recover. We got to maximize every possibility to get our athletes, healthy, regen, and then see if we can again go put a good game plan together, go into a difficult environment, and still have a good performance. I'm a huge believer that performance dictates results, and if you can get the performance, you can get the guys collectively playing together, good things are going to happen for us.
Gavin?
Hey, John, congratulations.
Thank you.
Can you speak about Edu and Indy, the way that they played, particularly in that first half? It seems like their passes were pretty crisp. They found a lot of boots and they were right in front of the net to be able to make goals. Just how about the way that they played and kind of provided the impetus for the team?
Yeah, look, I've been coaching Indy since he was 14 years old. That kid, he always brings it. And, he told me tonight, there's no question, I'm going to bring it. He had a tough time dealing with the coaching change. He and Bradley had a good relationship. And he is a person and a player that, expresses his emotions. So I give him massive, credit for just having the ability to deal with that loss of somebody that was important to him in his life, and still coming out and performing the way that he did tonight, and certainly getting 2 assists, and having Adu be the other guy. I mean, Adu is, I mean, if you guys haven't figured out what a wonderful human being that guy is, I mean, I don't know what we're all doing. He brings it. So really proud of him. And when we, as a team, are going to be in a good way, we have to go through Adu. You know, like, as an example, I said, Bloom, you run around like crazy, you win the ball, give it to Adu. You know, let Adu make the game for us. It's not that simple. Bloom had a fantastic game tonight. You know, left it all out there and fulfilled that role. But Indy, Adu, wonderful performances tonight, and I'm just so proud of them because they're excellent players, but they're excellent human beings as well.
Jacob.
Coach, congratulations. You talked about how stressful maybe the last couple days have been, and is there a sense, I don't know if relief is the right word.
Yeah, I need a Parker Pilsner really fast, so
They're good.
I'm going to go drink one as soon as we're done here.
Is there a sense of relief in getting this win tonight after everything? Not only you guys been through this week, but really over the last couple months?
Yeah, there is. It's undeniable that look, we need to learn how to win games again. We need to learn how to manage a game. You get up 2-0. They were up 2-0 in Vancouver. I wouldn't be sitting here if they managed it on Saturday night. So all of these little steps are really important. But we shouldn't pretend like we fixed it in one night. You know, there's so much more work to do, and that's all we can do. We can take this for what it was. We needed a win. We really needed a win in front of our fans, give them something to be excited about. We needed good performances. We got those from key players, and now we go on to the next match and see if we can, again, grind out another really good performance that puts us in a position to win a soccer game.
Next we'll go to Tom Shores.
Hey, Coach, is it safe to say that everybody's pulling in the same direction?
Where is Tom? Hey, Tom.
I'm up here.
All right.
Hey, it's good to see you, man.
Good to see you. I see you now. Sorry, what was your question?
Is it safe to say that everybody's rowing in the same direction now?
Well, for tonight we did, and that's a great step. We got to keep that going. I'm a big believer in identifying roles and responsibilities very clearly, and then it's up to the players to go to live up to those responsibilities, play their role, you know, do half of their brother's job. We talk about that a lot, pick each other up when we needed to, and that was nice to see. So hopefully we can build on that.
In the back.
Coach, I appreciate the fact that you agree that second half of the games have always been the problem. It's the same thing Vancouver, Colorado, Dallas. And we almost saw the same thing tonight. What are you doing to address this issue?
Well, I'm working on it, but I only had 2 days to start working on it. So the best thing that you can look at is that we got a shutout. You know, we got the win. It wasn't as effective in the second half as it was in the first, but we didn't give anything up. You know, we didn't give a goal up. And once you do that, you start learning how to win again. You start learning how to manage a game. You start believing a little more. And certainly, you know, huge credit to everybody on the field tonight that, you know, we asked several guys to come in. We're still kind of wounded. And so you saw Keel Watts come on and play effectively like a right midfielder. You saw Anthony Markanic come out and play a left midfielder. You know, like those are big things. You got Sam back who puts in, you know, a big shift for us tonight. You know, the only thing I'm mad about is that Akil should have made that 3-0, and then I wouldn't have stressed or yelled at the fourth official as much in the last 5 minutes. So, but besides that, I'm satisfied with, you know, taking that very small step forward.
We have time for 2 more. We'll go to Matt Rocchio and wrap up with Tom.
One of the big changes in the line to start the game, you have John Klein in the middle and Jose out on the right. Can you break down your thought process going into the game and then actually how they actually played out? Because they obviously both had very strong games.
Yeah, so let me start by giving Kevin Kalish, the SLU head coach, a lot of credit. He played Johnny as, a false nine, as a playmaker in the middle. And when I first got to St. Louis in 21, I went to watch every St. Louis University game I could. Deep history there, roots. And I think Kevin's a fantastic coach. We've known each other for a long time. And I'm not a genius, but I like to steal good ideas, and that was a great idea. So at the same time, I've known Jose for a long time. He came from IMG Academy where, he played with my younger son who plays on City 2. I got to see him. I have always thought of him as better, in wide spaces sometimes, unless he's playing the 6. He's proved that he's versatile and can play anywhere. His performance against Miami, showed everybody that. But that little, that idea that I had in my head from seeing Johnny perform so well in the middle of the field, knowing that Jose could do an excellent job. We were looking to get good service in behind their back line, and Jose's got excellent service off his right foot, where Johnny's more of a dynamic playmaker. So that was the reason for the switch, and thank God they made me look good tonight.
We'll wrap up with Tom.
How scripted was that second goal? Did you fake and the attackers trying to sell it?
That's an Alex Longer set piece special. So when you get those kind of things, full credit to Alex. He does a wonderful job as our set piece coach. In addition to, he has to figure out how to get Roman Berkey to be a good goalkeeper, which is a really tough job. He just walked into the back of the room. But Alex deserves all the credit. And then you have to have execution. And, it was one of the last things we talked about in the locker room tonight was execution on restarts. It can be the difference for us. And certainly it's much easier to see a game out when you're 2 goals up rather than 1.
So the attackers were part of it too. It's not just.
Absolutely. I mean, that's as well executed of a set piece as you can get. So celebrations all around.